Hello, I'm Graham Fitch and I'm bringing you this demonstration on pedalling from Steinway Hall in London, and this complements issue 85 of Pianist magazine, my article in issue 85 of Pianist magazine. And I'm going to be talking today about the other two pedals. We've already covered the right pedal. Now the left pedal and the middle pedal, or Sostenuto. Let me start off with the left pedal, otherwise known as the una corda, or the one string. Now it doesn't these days only play on one string. It did when the piano, in its early days, just the name has stuck. What happens when I put the left pedal down? The keyboard moves to the right. In fact, the whole action moves a little bit to the right. And what this does is it causes the sound to be of a different quality. And this is really the thing about the una corda, or the shift pedal. It's not so much that it's softer. It could be softer, or it is a little softer. It's more the change of colour. Some pianos it makes a lot of difference. On this piano, yes, well, it's a little bit like if I were to speak to you and covered my mouth with my hand or with a handkerchief. I can still speak very loudly, but the focus has gone out of my sound. What happens is we're playing on rather less worn parts of the felt. So if we put the pedal down just a tiny little bit, see, now it's fully down. There's all sorts of special effects that you can find with partial una corda. So just experiment on your piano. Put it down a little bit and see what difference it makes. Put it down the whole way, see what difference it makes. Use your ear and use your, let taste prevail, good taste prevail. It's very nice in Baroque music, if you're doing a repeat of a binary form section, to use it on the second half. So, and then on the repeat. You hear what happens there? I've just got a new colour, really, that's what it is. It's a colour change. Liszt gave us a few examples of the una corda in a mezzo forte setting. So it doesn't have to only be used for soft playing. You can, if you want to use, this is a lovely moment from the Benediction de Dieu dans la solitude, the benediction of God in the solitude, where at the beginning he asks for mezzo forte cantando una corda. So if I do that, you'll hear that the sound is moonlit. Best way of describing it. You hear if I did it without. The sound is just a little bit more immediate, a little bit more focused. So he's obviously after a slightly veiled, out of focus sound. Let's move on to the Sostenuto pedal, the middle pedal. Not all pianos have this. An upright piano is very unlikely to have it, and not all grand pianos have it. And those that do have it, it's often not very well regulated, so it's almost impossible to rely on. And frankly, it's hardly used except by specialists in contemporary music, and then they end up using it all over the place, even in music that doesn't actually need it. Let me just show you how it works. What happens with the shift pedal, sorry, not the shift pedal, the Sostenuto pedal, is if I play a chord or a note or as many notes as I want, and then I put the pedal down, those notes and only those notes are trapped in the pedal. You can probably see from the damper cam. So I can play a chromatic scale and only those notes remain in the pedal. So it's very useful. Let's say you've got a melodic line going on, or even if you want to sustain a chord here, and then everything else is short around it. Again, you'll probably find if you've got a grand piano and it's not regularly serviced by your technician, probably not going to be working that well. So when do you use it? When can you use it in the mainstream repertoire? Well, I would suggest rarely. I would find the solution in careful partial pedals or careful half pedals, fractional pedals on the sustaining pedal. Let's take another example now from the Cakewalk of Debussy from the Children's Corner. A lot of people use the sostenuto in this place because they're a little worried that this harmony and this are going to not sound good in the right pedal, in other words the sustaining pedal. They're worried about that blurring. Well, let me just give you a little bit into that. What I did there was to use my right pedal half down. If you can see on the damper cam, the pedal is not fully down. If the pedal is fully down, yes, that's not acceptable to the ear. If it's just partially down, it's perfectly fine, especially if I play my left hand terribly lightly and just focus my sound in the top of the right hand. Let me show you what it sounds like using the sostenuto. I have to put my pedal down, the sostenuto pedal down immediately after I've played that to catch it. Now, yes, I get beautiful clear staccatos, but there's a problem. This C flat is common to this chord and the left hand here. So to me, I just find that unacceptable. I wouldn't want to hear that sticking out. So my solution is to use the right pedal tiny bit, an eighth of the way down. Let's move on to the Rachmaninoff C-sharp minor prelude, which again is another golden oldie and causes a lot of people aggro because they don't like the blurring of the harmonies, which I'm sure Rachmaninoff had in his ear as he wrote it. It's not supposed to be squeaky clean. Here, I have no problem with those two chords living together on top of that bass. I guess if you did have an issue with it, you could do a quick change. Quickly flutter the pedal there. Now here, a lot of people like to use the sostenuto. Sostenuto is now down. I can change my right pedal on each one of those chords in a conventional legato way. Let me do that again. Sostenuto down, changing my right pedal on each chord. Let me do it using the right pedal. I'm going to show you twice. This is fully down, and I'm going to keep it down for the whole bar. I don't know about you, it's fine. If I didn't like it, or if you don't like it, what you can do is, again, flutter the pedal. About here, maybe, start about there. Now, if I go back and touch my G sharp silently, do you hear? They're still alive. That's because I can flutter the pedal, preserve that note, and lose the worst of the dissonances from these higher notes. It's very individual, like any other pedal solution. You can't be prescriptive about it. Let's look at again, another place where people like to use the sostenuto pedal in the submerged cathedral, La Cathédrale Engloutie of Debussy, where you get this wonderful low C. Now I'm going to use the sostenuto for now, and then I can change on each one. Okay, now for me that's a little antiseptic, and it doesn't really tell the story of this cathedral which is submerged and has now emerged from the water. It's supposed to be about water, it's not supposed to be crystal clear. I have no problem keeping my right foot all the way down from here . changed it yet. Haven't even adjusted it. Now, again, you could, if you wanted to explore the pedal, put the pedal down and maybe not all the way down. Maybe here. That's partial pedal. Again, if you look on the damper cam, you'll see what's going on there with the dampers. Personal taste. While I'm on the subject of the submerged cathedral, here's a very good little tip. To come back, this is the page later, to come back and touch these notes silently, change the pedal, then you can make the rests happen. Debussy's marked a sustained chord with a rest at the end of the bar. It's not essential, I quite like it. Let me just give you another example of the Sostenuto using the Liszt Consolation number 3 in D flats, piece that people love to play. I'm going to try it in two ways. I'm going to do it first with the Sostenuto. I'm going to set the D flat here in my Sostenuto. Okay, so that means now when I play that note, that D flat is going to be sustained by the mechanism. I can use my right foot normally. No need to change pedal. Change the right pedal. Change the right pedal. And just when it's dead, he asks us to play it again. Okay, still alive. Now let me try it completely with using the right pedal, because not all of you have this Sostenuto. And Liszt actually did have the Sostenuto later in his life, and he approved of its use in this piece. So if you've got it, use it. But you don't have to use it to make this piece work. What I'm going to do now, hopefully, if I get this right, you'll be able to check me out on my damper cam. Full pedal. Now I'm starting to want to reduce my resonance. I don't know if you heard what I did. I gradually, very, very slowly lifted my pedal so that I was able to preserve some of that when I play the new harmony. See, it's not offensive, is it? I don't think it's offensive. And then here, again, and I've still got, there we go, still got enough of that alive to make the bass still support. Admittedly, I do have a rather magnificent Steinway D in front of me here, but it should work on most good quality, certainly grand pianos. I hope you've enjoyed those demonstrations, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.